Greetings, wholesome love and vibrations family. This video I want to talk about how language and even our time is in reverse, okay? And with that being said, it's obvious to say that we are actually living in the past, you know what I mean? And if you start to look at the advancements they made back in the day, okay, it's literally mind-blowing. We couldn't even replicate it. For example, like the Egyptian pyramids of Giza, you know what I mean, certain monoliths and structures that we find in ancient times, we couldn't even replicate that today. All right, but mainly the most important thing is is asking questions, but common sense too. You know, if you use common sense and really start to think about things just don't add up, you know what I mean? And as far as time, it's like even just the days of the week, the month, you know what I mean? You have to go from Sunday to Monday. You work 5 days, right? You take 2 days off, and you got to do it all over again the week after, right? For the rest of your life, or until you retire. And when you retire, there's nothing left for you to do. But here's the thing, even just the days of the week from Sunday to Sunday, you're just doing it all over again. Just paying attention to that calendar, you're doing it all over again. First of all, time doesn't exist, and the proof is that, I mean, if you really think about it, they have something called daylight savings time, supposedly to save energy and, you know, light and whatnot. But doesn't that tell you that we control the time that supposedly we have here? You know what I mean? But instead it's under somebody else's control. Time doesn't exist because there's only ever now, right? Now, whatever happened yesterday doesn't exist. You can never go back to the past being in this reality, you know? But not only that, since there's always ever now, let's say somebody did something to you in the past that pissed you off. When you go back to that moment in time, you go back in your mind. But notice how there's no experience of it. The only thing you're going to experience is the emotion of it. Just being in silence, being still, and just thinking about it. How is it serving you? Because people hold grudges, people do all that, but the only thing you're holding on to is the emotion. There's nothing else there. It's gone. Whatever happened, happened. The future is based on decisions you make now, but it all ever comes down to the now. See, here, the time is slowed down as opposed to any other dimension, which means that whatever you think, it literally is in a slower time. You see, whatever, like for example, if you were in other dimensions and you thought of something, you'll manifest it instantly. You know what I mean? So that's the advantages of being here, like the experience of you being a creator. You know what I mean? See, in other dimensions, everything just comes up. Over here, you get to feel the excitement, even when you have sex. All right? Sex is long and pleasurable. You know what I mean? In other dimensions, it's like you don't have those feelings, but also the experience, whatever experience you may experience, is quick. So here's the thing. All right? What do you subscribe to when it comes to, and look at the word subscribe, okay? And this is why I say language. Language is something that can trap you also, just the words you use. All right, even time. Let's say, for example, what do you subscribe to, right? Sub means under, scribe means written in a book, right? So like I just said before, your future is determined by the decisions you make now. But are you going to make the decisions, or is somebody else going to make the decisions for you? Are you in control? In self-control, or is somebody else controlling you? Okay? Come down to the smallest minute thing about your body. Okay? You know, you have to control everything. Even when you think you're hungry, and you have to know if you're really hungry or not. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get cravings to eat unhealthy food, knowing that it's going to do bad for you, right? And all you're doing is creating the war in your body, which is always in conflict. Because we talk about even GMO foods and all that. You're GMO'd. That's why you're always in conflict as well. As far as your brain, you have a reptilian, you have a mammalian, and mammalian brain. So now here's the part of self-control is, see, the self-control comes when you have that special feature that was given to us, which is the ego. All right. See, the ego is our friend, to tell you the truth, because see, in this 3D reality, we have to have a personality. All right. We have to have a personality. It's a persona. You have a mask on. Okay. How do you want to express yourself here in this matrix? Okay. It's your choice. You could express yourself as who you really are. But then the environment determines your emotions, your DNA structure. But you gotta understand, when you eat food, there's information in food, but there's also karmic energy in food. See, if you look at the word karma, carnivore, right? Car. What you eat, you become. You know what I'm saying? When you eat meat, you're dense, you're heavy. But when you eat high vibrational life and electric food, because the meat is dead, you become a high, lively, high vibrational, electromagnetic human being. Even the word human being. Look at your persona. See, you being human is not who you really are. Human being, backwards, is just being human. Even when you say, I'm an infinite being, to everybody, infinite means endless, limitless. But if you look at really, just look at the word, infinite. In, and means bound and limitless. That's why, you see, here's the thing. You of course, we have to use the English language, but we have to watch the words we use, because those words could be swords. We have to watch the words we use, and when we watch them, it's just acknowledging them and setting your intention to what you really mean with that word. Because just you saying I am is a powerful 2 words. See, God said to Moses, I am that I am. So that is you already acknowledging that you're God. Because that's what God said to Moses. I am that I am. So when you say I am infinite, I'm being infinite being, you're saying I'm being infinite. So it's just like you knowing that somebody's about to poison you. Like I've talked to you in other videos. There's chemicals in food that you know you shouldn't be eating. When you know you shouldn't be eating it, then you don't buy it. You don't buy it. Right? You're not going to spend your money or your energy, your physical energy, paper energy, on buying chemical food. So when you know that that's poison, you don't buy it. So when you use words, okay, words are vibrations, because a lot of words have a lot of the same meaning. See, I can say, see, this is how I tell you that we're living in the past, and we always put ourselves in a past tense instead of going forward. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can say, I'm going to get that done tomorrow. Look up the word tomorrow and look up the word morrow. See, tomorrow means the day after. But when you break it down and say tomorrow, right? Your tomorrow means the following day. That's what you'll see when you look it up on Google. Now, if you're having a following day, a person following you, isn't that person always behind you? So why are they referring to the following day as the next day? Shouldn't they call it the follower day or something like that? The follower, you know what I mean? You don't have to follow. I mean, I'm just confusing myself. You guys get what I'm trying to get at, all right? But following means somebody's behind you, right? It doesn't mean if it says the next day, right? It should mean that the next day is the moment that you're in now. Because if somebody's following me, who's next? Me. I'm not the future. I am now. I am what I am. I am that I am. You know what I mean? So tomorrow means you're always putting that your inner energy into being behind you, the past, in reverse instead of going forward. So do you see how everything's just mixed up? You look at a calendar, you're on Sunday, right? And you go forward to come right back to Sunday. Numbers, same thing. Next month, I mean, what really is going forward is your now, being in your most natural state. Now, when I speak about food as information, all right, and GMO foods, see, GMO foods, they GMO everything, all right? And everything's been GMO'd since the beginning of time. Like I told you before, the food's been GMO'd, you've been GMO'd. If you really, really research what a carrot looked like back in the day, it was white. It wasn't even orange. Half of the fruits, the colors you see in the fruits, they weren't even that color. A banana is nowhere near the banana we see now to what it was before. So everything's altered and GMO'd. But what do we control? We control the controllables. That's the huge start. Realizing that we are all one, okay? Because the reason I share this light is because it benefits me. It benefits the planet. The more seeds are planted into people's brains about how knowledge and just being in self-control is the most important thing to you. And I'm not telling you, look, here's the thing. Just know. You know what I mean? You don't have to go into a supermarket and be scared that, oh, they're trying to poison me, you know? Because I see tricalcium phosphate in kids' cereals, which is literally paint thinner. You know what I mean? You guys got to be very knowledgeable. I don't say you guys because I'm in this too. You know, I'm in this together. We're all in this together, you know? But we got to be very aware. And look, there's so many of us and so little of them. Yet how do they have such control? Because it's all magic, right? But us knowing, right, how that magic trick is being performed, they can no longer fool you. But the key is to being clear. And the way you keep your vessel clear, so because they say your eyes are the windows to the soul, right? When you eat sugar, when you eat meat, when you eat all these unnatural things, what happens? All right? You start to demineralize yourself. See, this is the key, is minerals. Everybody's talking about high protein diets. I'm going to get into the nutrition part because protein is not the end all be all. It's minerals. See, if you start losing your minerals, your nails don't grow, your hair starts falling out. You start to lose bone density. You start to get blind. So, why are you getting blind? Because the windows to your soul are getting distorted. So the only way you can maintain your vessel clear so that who you really are, okay, is clear to drive this vehicle and see clear through the windows, smell clearly, listen clearly, speak clearly. Clear chakras are very important for that reason. See, everybody talks about chakras, but do you really know what your chakras really are or what they really do? If one chakra's off, you're gonna be sick. You're gonna be all out of balance. You might experience headaches. You might experience pains. You might experience emotional distortion. You know what I mean? Depending on where it's at. And we get attacked constantly with your consent. See, there's spirits who dwell in this 3D reality that are aware of us, but we're not aware of them because we cannot see them. Because, see, our pineal gland is calcified. But, see, being here, we have to know that we are limitless. And that we have powers beyond. See, we're playing a video game. Now, if you look at subscription, description, inscription, prescription, right? Look at the word in there. subscript. You're under somebody else's script when you are in subscription. All right? When somebody tells you, describe your version of the story. When you describe, D means you're getting away from the script because you are using your own version to tell the story. Prescription medicines, right? This is a big indicator as to somebody using medications to control you. And you are in big control when you're using medications, because when you go to the doctor, you put all your faith into the doctor, right? He gives you a bunch of pills and you're in hopes to get better, but you only get worse. See, those prescriptions were scripted for you to control you, because those medications completely mess your DNA up, completely mess your brain up, completely mess your health up in every aspect of the game. Antibiotics. Look at this. Antibiotics. Antibodies. You have probiotics in your body. Prebiotics. Probiotics are the good bacteria to help your immune system keep everything in homeostasis. Then you got the prebiotic, which is literally the food for the good bacteria. But then you got antibiotics, which is literally like putting a nuclear bomb in your stomach to kill off the good bacteria, the prebiotic, and the bad bacteria. So all they did was just change the body's natural chemistry. So is that really, living forward? No. Now you're under somebody's script. Why don't you use your description to tell your version? You have to know this is an illusion. Illusion. Illuminate. Scion. I mean, just look at the words. I mean, I wasn't... Look, I started to really pay attention to language, and when you start to pay attention to language, that's one of the biggest keys here. Because then you can... And listen, your intention, when you set intentions, that's a muscle that you have to exercise. And the more you use that intention setting muscle, the stronger it becomes. You can create your own reality, because you're not subscribed to nothing. You're not under somebody's script. You subscribe when you're in church, right? You give all your power away. You're under a religion. Religion. I mean, I want everybody to be awake and just start to understand that when you start to have that mentality that everything is in reverse, you can start to really, really see clearly how everything is in reverse. Somebody's up, maybe another being's down, right? If you look up at the sky, right, supposedly, that might be an alien's down. When you look in the water, right, you look down and you see fish, right? But the fish is, your down is the fish is up. They could be at the surface of the water. That's always still going to be your down. So everything is energy in motion. Where are you placed at? The key is to ascend. But how do you ascend? You have to charge your body. Okay? See, that's the whole thing here. People talk about progress. Being progress, meaning you go and make money, live the American dream. And in reality, knowledge is power, because the more you know, the more your spirit grows. See, that's food for your spirit. Food for your soul. That's why they call it soul food. Is not really the foods that you find in the South. Fried chicken and biscuits and grits and none of that. No. It's electromagnetic food. All right? Spirituality is our natural state. Look at spirituality. Spirit. You're inspired. Inspiration. Respiration. That's why when you meditate, you use, and your respiration, you focus, because when you respire, respirit, Okay, now you're energizing your spirit. So you need to use the chi, the air, to feed your spirit. That's why you have your respiration. Spirit. Bring your spirit back to life using your respiration. Listen, everything's in plain sight, but you got to use a lot of etymology and deciphering to figure these things out. Nobody's going to tell you, because you see, evil doesn't exist. Evil is just you living in reverse. So every day that you go and subscribe to something that's not natural, you are evil. That's all it is. Because there's nothing that's bad or good. It's just negative and positive. Same way you got a negative charge, positive charge. But for you to charge up, what do you need? You need that neutral. You need that ground, right? So how many of you ground in nature, okay? Using respiration. You know, this is a very powerful gesture. I want to show you this real quick. I gotta put my camera down because I've been holding it, but when you do this, it's a very powerful hand gesture, because I want you guys to look this up. You have organs identified in each little section of your palm, both palms, all right? And organs in your feet as well. You notice that when you go out into nature, which I hope you guys are barefoot, all right? But the natural state is to walk on sand, on rocks, on grass, barefoot. Because you see, when they want you to activate a certain organ, okay, which is organs they play in church, they play a certain frequency. Every organ in your body plays a certain frequency. That's why they're called organs. But check this out. See, you're always wearing sneakers. Everything's always so flat, concrete, right? The cities, everything's square. So what ends up happening? Now you have no chi activation into your organs, because your feet are just on a rubber, unnatural cushion, from which is your sneakers, or it could be your shoe, okay? And you never have connection to the ground, but you also never feel not the flat shape, but the shapes of rocks underneath you. But half of you people could take your shoes off and walk on the rocks near a creek, and you wouldn't be able to handle it, because they'd hurt your feet, because you're not used to it. You know what I mean? Not knowing that you should walk on rocks a lot more, because now you're actually doing a natural trigger point therapy to your feet that are activating your organs. And that's why when people have headaches, right? I don't have a camera stand, so we're gonna have to deal with this. But when people have headaches, they tell you, oh, squeeze here, and you know, for you to activate your liver, you gotta press this part of your hand, you know what I mean? And it's basically all just breathing and just trigger point, you know, move around, find the sweet spots, you know what I mean? And you'll feel a lot better, right? So now here's the thing. When you do that, the one I showed you before, where you put your hands together when you pray, all right, you're literally using all your organs from your hands. Remember, I told you your organs play a certain frequency. See, a lot of people have so much belief in religion, which keeps you bound and tied and into false light. But when you put your hands together, you put so much belief into that God, you're putting so much of your energy through your hands in that hand gesture. When you pray, because when you pray, predators, right, are going to come. Now, this is why I'm saying that you're always going to have a distorted mentality where people are always controlling you, because now you put all your energy through your organs from your hands out. Your hands are very powerful. That's why you have Reiki healers who use their hands to heal people, okay? Because they use see, here's the thing. You could channel gods, which God could be anybody. The devil's a god. Do you know what a picture of God looks like? No. We have pictures of Jesus, but is there ever any proof of any kind that Jesus ever existed? No. So you don't know what God you're praying to. So you got to be careful. Now, you have your hands together. You put all your energy, all your electromagnetic energy in your hands to pray to an external source. That's detrimental. Detrimental. That's selling your soul. Because here's the thing, you think that selling your soul are only people in Hollywood who sell their soul for money. But you sell your soul for money when you go to work, because you are going to put your time and energy in a job to get paid. Only they do it on a larger scale. You're doing it on a smaller scale, right? Now, when you give your energy away, you are using your energy. You're paying attention, because energy flows where attention goes. Look at the word, pay attention. You're paying attention to an external source. So you're paying your energy to an external God that you don't know who you're praying to, okay? And that's where all your energy is going. See, these videos are important, they're deep, but you have to be, see, here's the thing, and I'm going to make a video on this, because there's levels to the information that is given out by certain people, okay? And I remember when I wasn't at that level, I would hear certain people on YouTube speaking, all right? See here, the important part first is to have intuition and discernment to know if somebody is a fake or a real truth teller, okay? And fake meaning the agents, okay? Like you see in the Matrix, the agents giving you false light, false information, all right? When you start to meditate and you clear your body, you're able to use discernment and use the right judgment to know if somebody is an agent or if somebody is out to really help humanity, okay? See, there's karmic energy behind what you do. That's why they say you are what you do. If I'm helping humanity, you eat what you are, okay? And listen, this is not something I do because I say that I'm going to get something good out of it, because there's people who do things against what they really want to do just because they want something on it. That's considered buying it. Do it for a passion, okay? See, people go and work and make their goal to make $1 million, right? And that's luxury, false light, lux, okay? Now, be very careful, okay? But you channel energy through you. Now, knowing thyself, okay, is knowing if you're being controlled or are you in control. Your senses, okay? You're gonna have sexual urges, okay? Your energy, your sexual energy was made to procreate, but you've had sex that now you become addicted to it. It's just like a child. My son is 5. My son doesn't eat candy, just eats pure fruits. If a child is never introduced to candy, then you as an adult will never have a craving to eat artificial sugars. You would only want the sugars from the fruits, okay? So we were attacked and hijacked, okay, through the foods we eat. Because once we taste unnatural salt, once we taste unnatural sugar, the sugar from fruits is not going to taste as good, because it's just a lot sweeter, and there's chemicals to it that make your brain, for example, they did a test where they gave somebody sugar and they gave somebody cocaine, and your brain acted the exact same way as if you took cocaine, okay? When you're hungry, you're not really hungry. That's just your stomach repairing itself. Because, see, here's the thing. A lot of people think they're hungry, but you have people who eat a big meal and then they want dessert. Are you really hungry for dessert, or are you just really craving that sugar after you eat? You know what I'm saying? Your stomach is not that big, but you go and you think you're hungry. And it's like, listen, when you're hungry, let's say, and you get those late night cravings, your stomach is trying to repair itself and you think you're hungry. Hunger comes from a sensation in your throat. So know thyself. Know how to use, and listen, you got to know how to use this vessel. This vessel is amazing. When you meditate, you'll start to feel certain things. And I'm going to make a video on what to expect when you meditate. Everybody has different experiences. We are all one because we are all made of water. Water is everywhere. Water is in the air. I spoke about, the ocean. The ocean if you go to the end, and I think that the world is hollow, and there's the inside of the earth, but the seas, the celestial seas, are all merged into one. It's like we were in an air sac. All right, I talked about this on the other video. This video is about to cut off, but I'm going to continue on a part 2 real quick.